Hi everyone, today is a fragrance video and I will be showing you my selection for perfumes that take us from winter to spring. This is a sort of demi-season, this kind of a demi-seasonal selection where I like to do a transitional rotation for my fragrances, and I do tend to separate winter perfumes from spring perfumes by this winter to spring selection. This is really what we're talking about here. End of winter and going into the spring. I've selected quite a few fragrances because I'm kind of craving a little bit of something different from my winter selection. And let's start here with with one of my hero fragrances. This is Prada Infusion d'Iris, and it is the Absolue version, Eau de Parfum Absolue. This guy is a little bit harder to find. This is, I think it was a limited edition. I don't think they're making this at this point. This is my second bottle. I'm not sure if I'll be able to find another one. And it's more than half, and it's more than a third gone, approaching halfway mark. Wonderful iris that is resting on a very flavorful, soft tonka and vanilla base. It does have a little bit of freshness to it if you like powders. This is gorgeous. It does have the iris. It does have the iris DNA, but the Eau de Parfum and Eau de Toilette versions are a lot more green and stark and a little bit more clinical powdery. This is a little bit more boudoir powdery. So very wearable, beautiful powder. I absolutely love it. I would repurchase it in a heartbeat if I could get my hands easily on it, but very much a favorite of mine. I think a wonderful addition to anybody's fragrance collection if you see it somewhere. Do buy it if you are a fan of powdery scents. If you don't like powders, don't bother. This is a powdery fragrance. I have two Narciso Rodriguez scents. One of them is a luscious and very powerful, ripe, red, velvety, delicious, juicy rose. This is a very nice rose. If you like rose fragrances on a musk base that are very rich and quite evocative of the rose, this one is a little bit abstract, but absolutely gorgeous and very, very juicy. Wears super well. It does wear into something a little bit on the powder side, on the cosmetic rose rather than a live rose side, but it starts as a beautiful, juicy, realistic rose. Very pretty fragrance, nicely grounded in Narciso Rodriguez musk that everybody is so crazy about. By everybody, I mean I definitely am. I adore Narciso musks because they are the best musks, I think, on the market. They did stumble a little bit on their latest for her release, I think. Flowers combined with their musks a little bit better than the fruits do. But the red rose that is here is absolutely luscious and desirable. If you like roses, you probably will find the Narciso Rouge very appealing. I'm a big fan of it, and I am absolutely happy to continue using it over long term. We have another one. This is for her Fleur musk, and this is another very floral musk. Fresh floral musk. There is a lift and freshness to it. This is an explosion of peonies and all kinds of other garden flowers. I imagine that this fits the idea of a very precisely and beautifully cleanly trimmed French garden, but with gorgeous florals just within those confines of that perfect trim, just blooming and emitting most beautiful, ripe scents. There is a little bit of a fruit reference in it, but really very minimal. This is pretty much a straight up floral musk as well. If the other one is rose, here we have a lot of peony, a lot of lift, a lot of freshness, a lot of other florals. Just a pretty springtime floral, I think, with the characteristic musk as well. So if you're not a fan of rose, but you want a really floral musk, then this is probably going to be your best bet, especially if you're interested in the Narciso line. It's a really nice, lifted floral musk. Then we have Chanel number 5, Eau Première. I normally reach for some kind of a Chanel number 5. I have a few of them in my possession, and this is one of my favorites. I love wearing Eau Première, especially in winter and in a transition from winter to spring. So I pulled for it this time. It is an absolutely lovely mixture that sits somewhere between a lemon pie, a lemonade, and aldehydes, and a soap. So it's kind of like a amalgamation of all of those things, and a mixture of them kind of lifting you into some kind of a dreamland with a beautiful lemon meringue sort of crowning the composition. It's slightly fizzy yet grounded. There's a lot of vanillic undertones to it, so it wears really well. It's very pretty, and it's clean yet soft and feminine. Just a really wonderful combination of notes. I like Eau Première quite a lot, and I've been wearing it again for many years. None of these are new. Well, one of them is new. That's it, just one. So I'm approaching halfway mark with my usage soon, I think. And currently the bottles look different. This is the last of the tall bottles that I had. And after this, when I'm repurchasing it, it'll just look like a normal flask from Chanel. Another Chanel scent that I'm absolutely loving for this kind of a transitional period is number 19, Eau de Parfum. Number 19 is not everybody's cup of tea at all. In fact, if you are a fan of sort of fruity floral perfumery, fruitulis that are out there, or gourmands, number 19 will be kind of jarring and smell like maybe a cologne more so than a perfume. It is extremely tenacious. It is a beautiful sheeper, and it is grounded in a very mossy, shady place. It is definitely fresh. It is definitely cool. It's definitely aloof. It definitely does not have a high opinion of humanity. If you're wearing this, you probably don't care what everybody thinks. You probably are doing your own thing and doing it confidently with zero regard for public opinion. That's what Chanel number 19 gives me. Chanel Cristal gives me the same kind of a feeling. So if you like Cristal, you probably like number 19. If you like 19, you probably like Cristal. So test them out, see what you like most. I think 19 is a beautiful combination of notes, as long as you are a bit unconventional. You like greenery and foresty, sort of classic scents, and you want to appear cool, aloof, and a little bit unattainable, unachievable. If that's what you like, 19 is for you. I tend to adore this scent. I wear it not too often, but I do tend to reach for it, especially in a work situation, specifically when I don't want to be perceived as soft and cuddly or weak in any way. This is a power perfume, at least as a female. I think very easy to wear as a male. Many men will really enjoy the greenery of this. But as a female, this is like a power, get out of my way kind of fragrance, and that's why I love it. If that's what you're looking for from perfumery, check out 19 or Cristal from Chanel. I think you will find that kind of a vibe if that's what you're looking for. Another foresty but much more wearable option is from Hermes. This is Eau de Merveilles, and this is Eau de Toilette concentration. Eau de Parfum does not smell anything like it, so they're totally different perfumes. I don't know why they got stuck in the same line. They shouldn't be, but the Eau de Merveilles is a very special scent because it is, again, pretty unisex, much softer. It talks about the same thing that the number 19 talks about, but is way more approachable and easier to stomach. So if you like the idea of 19, but you smell it and you feel like it's a little abrasive and a little hardcore, check out the Merveilles. It also has this sheeper foresty sort of vibe. It's pretty fresh. It smells like a cool, fresh walk in the forest, pretty shady forest. And it still has that, but it's much easier to pull off if you're having a hard time pulling off number 19. Personally, I really like the Hermes as a very wearable option if you're wanting that cooling unisex vibe, which I adore. And obviously, I've used up some of the fragrance and I will continue to pull for it because it is a very, very pleasant scent, and this cool forest reference is definitely something that I look for in the spring. I want a little bit of nature in my scent wardrobe. Speaking of something that isn't quite natural but is very perfumey and in the best possible way, is a new purchase for me, and this is Idôle Intense from Lancome. And this is the intense version again. This doesn't have a ton to do with the original. They're not that similar. So if you have the original, you should still check out Intense, because it's probably going to read as a very different fragrance for you. It did for me. I like the original. I don't love it, but I like it. I might purchase it in the future, but for right now, I had no qualms. Like, I smelled the Intense and I got it. Like, I knew that that was the right smell for me. It is a floral with some fruity undertones and grounded and pretty powerful, soft vanilla that is vanilla tonka sort of situation, which is extremely round and very feminine. This is a very feminine fragrance. It's a very feminine floral. I think if you are a lover of florals and you want an elevated floral that isn't it isn't smelling like a particular flower necessarily, but is just like a general floral that smells expensive, I think Idôle Intense is going to satisfy that craving for you. It smells very perfumey, what you would imagine a floral fragrance to be in the best possible way. That's what it smells like. The base is really carrying it into this delicious, yummy, want to get close to you realm. Whereas the florals are keeping it classic and very high-end. I think beautiful scent. In my mind, as soon as I smelled it, I immediately thought this should have been what Chanel released as Gabrielle, which was a total disappointment for me. I thought Gabrielle was tragic. In terms of composition, I know there's some lovers of Gabrielle out there. Good for you guys. But for me, it was just sadness. Sadness covers the earth. That was what happened. Just darkness descended when I smelled Gabrielle, and I realized that I did not like it at all. And it was just not what I was expecting. Now, if they released this as Gabrielle, totally believable. This is a Chanel-esque scent for me. They have this kind of a composition, this kind of a DNA going on and their fragrances, and I would be like instant purchase if they came out with the Gabrielle that smelled like this. I would be all over it, and I'd be like, yes, God, Chanel came up with something that is absolutely Chanel, but also absolutely just disgustingly gorgeous. I am a big fan of this guy. Now, not everybody's going to like it. If you don't like that perfumey smell of flowers, you're probably not going to be a big fan. But if you like fragrances, if you like florals, definitely check this out. This is a very special find. And if you are a fan of big, juicy, yummy, decadent florals, then Idôle Intense might be the ticket for you. It is certainly for me. I am going to probably wear this one the most this season, because it's not particularly like winter to spring. I just really want to wear it because I love it. We'll see how it wears in the warmer months. I've only worn it in the cold weather of Eastern Canada. And it's worn gorgeously. I'm super impressed with it. I've been sticking my wrists into my husband's face over multiple days after I purchased it. And he was like, just like, stop it, maybe just go talk to your people online about it. This is nice, but like, I don't have to smell it every 15. So which fragrances do you prefer for this kind of a transitional season from winter to spring? Is there a specific kind of scent that you're looking for? Is there a specific category? Do you have a perfume that you pull for during this season? Or do you just continue wearing your winter scents until it's really like spring and warm? I do tend to like to transition every couple of months into something a little bit different as the weather changes. So these are my picks for this particular kind of weather. Leave your comment down below because we're all curious to find out and share how we use our scents. That's it for today. See you guys later. Have a wonderful day and keep safe, keep calm, and carry on. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.